Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your Harsh Truth reading for 19. Thank you for joining. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. Cancer. Syrians, Cancer. Knight of Swords. All right, so, something unexpected's coming, perhaps. Seriously, incoming, unexpected, incoming. Page of Wands, perhaps you're going to hear something, or maybe you want to hear something from somebody from your past. So we got Page of Wands, Seven of Swords. Ooh, Eight of Wands reversed. Ace of Wands. The Death card, that could be Scorpio. And the Tower. Oh boy, good gracious. Okay, we got unexpected all over this, Cancer. Like, wow. Unexpected right here. Unexpected right here. Unexpected right here. Oh, goodness. All right. So we've got wanting to hear from someone, wanting good news, maybe this is also a new interest, wanting to see where that goes. You don't want to be deceived or betrayed. What's this Page of Wands? There is a new interest. It probably happens suddenly. Maybe this new interest happens suddenly. What's this Page of Wands about? All right. Interesting. So we could have, actually, I was going to say this could be Virgo or Aries here. Is this a solo thing? Like a new interest and kind of, all right, hold on. Let me draw more cards here. Hold on. What's this Seven of Swords about? What's this Seven of Swords about? Four of Swords and the Ace of Wands. I think this is about avoiding a new romance. I don't think you want to be avoiding a new romance here. I don't think you want to be avoiding passion, avoiding passionate interests. You don't want things to lie dormant, okay? But what's this Eight of Wands about? I get it, but is this you trying to figure out how to make it work with where you're at? Like you're only mildly interested. You don't want to be avoiding romance or commitment or, pursuing what you want, but what's this Eight of Wands about? What is this? We got two cards of being solitary here. Why? That's it being cut off. Whatever you want to happen is there's going to be delays and there's going to be conflict or strife with it. And I think it's going to center around the security of the connection to the point where you might even opt to go it alone. So I think there's an issue with something moving forward. With you trying to figure out how to make things work, and it feels like you're the only one worried about how to make things work or move forward. It feels like there's going to be unexpected delays and there's going to be problems with things going forward. It also, like I said, feels like you're the only one that wants things to move forward. There might be somebody has kind of cut off communication with you or has cut you off or has been just used really unkind words. It feels like there's going to be delays and perhaps them cutting you off is unexpected or you feeling cut off. What's this Ace of Wands about? We've got the Ace of Wands over here and the Ace of Wands over here. Why? What's this Ace of Wands about? So we got the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay, so you're wanting to get out there and get after life. You're wanting for stuff to happen and you're wanting a new beginning. You're probably trying to figure out in this. I think I'm reading for single Cancers here. I think I'm reading for all of you singles out there because these are solitary positions, very independent. Probably got a lot going on right now with work. You're very successful. Things are working. The home and work and career, stable, steady, set, got it. But as far as any kind of passionate interest, you're like, okay, how am I going to fit that into life here? And the truth of it is perhaps you are holding off because you still feel cut off or because of that somebody cut you off. Perhaps you want it to move forward with one certain person, but there's going to be delays. And if not, maybe there was a fight that happened. There's a barrier. There's something, things are not moving forward because I think there's a very strong focus on achieving and doing certain things a certain way, probably career and whatnot. Maybe you're setting yourself up. But I think this is also with whatever happened with this person in the past or in past relationships, you were not moved about things. Like you were kind of like dogmatic about if you got backed up against the wall, you were like, you came out swinging. Understandably so, because, you know, who likes that? But I think because of that, your focus has been on being successful and building security for yourself, which is awesome. But it feels like there's not a lot that can you or meet you where you're at, and you're not going to suffer fools either. So you're at a bit of an impasse because you've got standards or high standards. You're very independent, very successful, but there are delays as far as connecting with other. Even though you might want that passionate connection with someone, it's like, okay, how am I going to make that work though? Because it looks like you're pretty successful, and you're like, okay, how am I going to have stuff move forward though? How can I do it all? The Queen of Wands can do it all. How can I do that? You don't want to be dead inside. There's that. You don't want to still be processing emotional issues from your past. You don't want, maybe this is about not wanting a new beginning with a person from your past, but you would like for things to happen. But I'm not seeing somebody in here. I'm seeing this as all you kind of thinking about your love life, going, you know what, I really want this, but somehow, some way, you have gotten to be very successful. And I feel like it was in spite of or because of a past prior situation. When is it not, right? I mean, that could be school, that could be promotions, that could be anything. But if we're talking about love, I feel like you kind of had a bad run. And so there was a dry spell, or there was just, you're like, I'm never going to be put in that position again. And you worked really hard to kind of know your worth and have the things that you have and work for it. It's not that it has to be extravagant or anything like that, but it's all yours. And you've got you're in a position to offer your home or your heart or whatever, but there's delays. Why? What's this Tower about? You're holding off. You're holding back on something. I think it's because you don't know how to move forward. I think it's because you don't know how to let down your guard. Honestly. I think you're still in this mode where it's like, I'm not going to be screwed over. I'm not the one. What's this Tower about? This could be Scorpio. Huh. Something, okay, give me more. What's this Tower about? What else for the Tower? Could have Pisces or Cancer here, but this is, okay, so we've got something unexpected. We've got a stalemate, not moving forward because you're kind of reviewing your past and your relationships. Perhaps this is somebody coming back in asking for a second chance. Perhaps you're shocked because there's been no forward movement on someone coming back in and asking for a second chance. I think you're wanting things to progress, but you're kind of in this period of review, unless this is a second chance. But I think you're kind of looking at past issues in your relationships. You sort of blocked your emotions. There's been no forward movement. And we have going inward and disconnecting, and basically connecting to source, disconnecting from the outside world and going inward and connecting and trying to figure out what is going on. So I think you might be aware that I don't see anybody here, Cancer. I really don't. I don't see anybody that you're dealing with. This could be an Aquarius coming in. This could be Scorpio. This could be Leo, Aries, or Virgo. This could be Capricorn. But I feel like this is you in the wake of it's a very solitary reading. And I feel like this is about you not wanting to be in the same position you were in before. And you've made quite a nice, life for yourself, or you're feeling really good about a certain area of your life. But when it comes to love, you're like, I want to get this started. I want to go, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe a couple of things. It could be that you're in review of the past, and that you're kind of blocked off emotionally because of something that happened in the past, and you're still kind of processing that. You're in review. You're kind of having all these realizations or whatnot. Or somebody that you haven't been in contact with or communication comes in out of nowhere and asks for a second chance. Could be that. Could be you wanting a second chance with someone and wondering why it hasn't happened yet. Either way, it's about you going inward and really trying to process this and figure it out and understand it. So you're disconnecting from the outer world and connecting inwardly. So this is definitely a period of review for you. My hunch is it's connected to an unexpected breakup, and you're kind of like, okay. And so in kind of dealing with that, you basically got to work and made life happen, except for in the romance department. And now that you might think like you're well enough along the way in healing or whatnot, you don't want to deal with your feelings anymore. Now you're like, okay, well, now what? And now you're like, oh gosh, I got everything the way I want it, and I really would like to connect with somebody, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do that with where I'm at now. And so we go back to the drawing board. This is about in review. Okay, what else for Cancer? Cancer. Yep, there it is. You're reviewing. This is taking time away or physical distance, pulling back from something to get some perspective. This is all about getting some distance, emotional distance, almost isolating yourself so that you can detach, you can see the big picture, and that so you can look at things clearly and objectively. So you basically are in a state of review right now. This is a very solitary position for you. Even though the desire is there, you are in a state of review and before you move forward, because you're not the same person you were that whoever broke up with, or whoever you were. And you might be a little shocked by this, like, oh gosh, like I'm okay with the solitude. I'm okay with being solitary, because the next time I do that, I might want companionship. I want all the things and the passion and all that, but I want it to be solid and secure, and that hasn't happened for me. And so I'm in this state of review and reflection so that I can have this. It's not so much about getting down in your feelings and being like, oh, it's more like intuition and logic in the place of emotion, because you don't want to have to, you're like, okay, I'm done processing emotions. I don't want it to be about me having to go back and feel all the feels. I get it. Things didn't work out. We're both culpable. I get it. But I want to know why. And I'm going to use intuition and logic to look at the past and see where the disconnect is. And this is about, like I said, about you pulling back and disconnecting so you can get some distance, and using your intuition and logic to make sense of everything. Answer. Awakening. Okay, I'll take it. Awakening. This is you. Someone call it ascending, but this right here, this tower, this Eight of Wands, this Knight of Swords, this is all about your eyes being wide open all of a sudden, and you're like, whoa, what just happened? And sometimes like working, throwing yourself into work and really kind of just building that secure nest around you. And all right, well, to get through this issue, I'm going to, and I do feel like this, I do feel like part of making your life work and figuring your life out at one time was because of a really bad breakup. Okay. And so you did it, you made this nice life for yourself. And now you're looking around going, whoa, this is pretty cool, but I don't have room for this. How do I incorporate that? All right. It's Cancer. I honestly, I don't feel anybody else here. I think this is all about you being at the crossroads, wanting to begin to think about finding a passionate, something that really inspires you, because everything's pretty solid, stable, and secure right now for you. And I feel like you're like, okay, I might be ready. But instead of pursuing that, it's turned into this review that might have taken you by surprise, or there might just be some revelations like, what, maybe I don't want this anymore. Maybe I don't want this or that until this, just you being very discerning, whereas it's not that you didn't have standards before, but just the fact that this need is not all consuming. You're like, wait a second, look at all that I've done by myself. I want to find someone that's worthy of me sharing that with, that's going to appreciate it, not take me for it, Cancer. Okay, so this is, again, I said crossroads. You're at the crossroads, and this is a challenging relationship, or it is because you're at the crossroads because of a challenging relationship, because of a bad date, because of disappointment, because of a painful relationship. So this has really got you thinking. This is you in solitude. I'm reading for Cancers that are in solitude, that are really reviewing the past and really trying to figure out how to move forward in this secure position without giving that up, but also making space for a loving, passionate relationship. Not a small order, right? Especially in light of the fact that you're really trying to make sense of what happened because of past painful relationships. So I'm sorry, this was so not about a relationship per se. This is about you coming out of it and making life happen. The good news is you're in a secure, solid position that you can pretty much handle anything that's thrown at you, that life throws at you. But the one thing that's missing that you're trying to sort out is this passionate and loving connection with someone. You're in no hurry to the point where you've disconnected. We've got being objective, disconnecting from the world and going within. really trying to solve this, which is awesome. We got these awakenings here, these realizations, but it feels like this is paramount for you now, that there's not going to be another love interest until this is kind of processed. And it's not something I think you expected. I think I think, you might been working and doing your thing and didn't even bother to look up or consider it. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, you know what? I can slow down now. Life's good. And then, well, damn. And you look around and you're like, would I date me? Like, would I date? Okay, what do I need to work on? And why did that happen? And that's what this is all about. So, all right, Cancer. I hope this was helpful for you. I got to applaud you here. Honestly, this is pretty darn cool. Voluntary or not, it takes guts to go inward and connect and look at to look at everything that's shocking, everything that's not pleasing, or that, seeing yourself in that horrible light, or, oh God, things that still make you cringe. And to try and work through that so you can come out the other side and be a better person and a better partner. That's pretty courageous. Pretty courageous. Okay. All right. I wish you luck with this, and good for you. You keep doing this. Honestly, good for you. I hope to see you in the next reading. You take care. Thank you for stopping by. Take care.